Yo, what's up guys? Bill here, Classic Rock and Metal Review. Thought I would throw a spotlight on a recent Facebook Marketplace pickup of mine. And there's no bonus material on it. There's no rare material, bonus tracks or anything, which is why I initially passed on this thing. And kind of was off Facebook for almost a month or so, and I went back on, this thing was still there. So I decided to dig a little deeper, see what it was all about, and really been peeling back the layers like an onion on this thing ever since. So what am I talking about? Deep Purple Collection. This is, these are the 7 Deep Purple studio albums from the 70s. This product dates back to the late 80s. A pickup that turned out to be a little more than meets the eye, so we'll go over the history of the release itself, then we'll dissect the contents a little bit and check out the simple but awesome packaging. I'm going to focus on 2 of the albums in particular, In Rock and Fireball. So I'm not going to go over every single disc. Don't worry. Be cool. And speaking of cool, you know we don't talk here unless we drink and unless we throw up a shameless plug. So it's about 10 in the morning, so that's my breakfast actually. Today I'm riding the Headboat, another slack-tide beer. This beer's like drinking a Corona, man. I mean, it is just too damn easy to drink. A lot more complex than a Corona, but right in that wheelhouse of drinkability. Man, dangerously good. All right, so let's get to it. Deep Purple Collection. I'll tell you what I know, what I was able to find out. All right. Harvest Records released this thing. Discogs has, well, really 3 different listings for it. 1988 Australasia region for this 7 CD package. There was another release, 1990 specific to Australia. Okay, and then finally, another 1990 release on vinyl, Australasia region once again. So this thing dates to 88, possibly 1990. Depending on which one you got. There's no year stamped on this thing that I can tell. All right, I saw it pretty close to me at Facebook Marketplace about a month ago. All right, I looked into it enough to see that there was no new material on it and basically passed. It was going for 30 bucks. So it was all Facebook for about 3 weeks. Kind of forgot about it in a way, but when I went back on there, it popped back up, scrolling. I scroll for box sets on there. CDs aren't really worth driving to get, but a box set kind of is. So I'll show you a couple of those at the end here that I got off Facebook Marketplace for a steal. So came across it again. The price was lowered to 25 bucks. That wasn't even really a thing, you know. Just start checking this release out a little closer. Delving a little deeper into what exactly it is, all right? I'm looking for a reason to buy it. I want it, you know, I mean, come on. Who doesn't want this thing? I don't care if you've already got the albums, you know? Who doesn't want this cool-ass In Rock theme box? So I start looking online. Let me see what this thing is all about, a little more specifics. First and foremost, that killer box, all right? But I head back to Discogs, and yeah, the original Harvest UK versions of the CDs, okay? Not surprised, being that it's a Harvest release originally. But strangely, as I start looking a little more into it, some of the catalog numbers on these CDs are unique to this box. All right, so kind of has my interest now, like why, you know? Which is pretty damn cool in and of itself, but I go on the internet and just throw out this random question. Which are the best sounding versions of Deep Purple CDs? Which, no surprise, I end up on Steve Hoffman Forum. And the first dude on there who threw the question up lists his versions of the best sounding compact disc for Purple. And he has catalog numbers. 4 out of the 7 that are unique to this box are listed here. All right, now it's like I can't wait to get this thing, you know. So I run over, I buy it. Had my excuse to buy it at that point for sure. So let's go through this box, review the sound quality, the contents, some good stuff. Now, first of all, the packaging. I've already kind of showed you a little bit, but let me take the discs out of here. All right. Guess I could just show you the discs or whatever, but Box itself is really sort of a thin stock cardboard. I don't know if you can make that out, but I think you can pretty much tell just by looking at it. Not like they make them nowadays, right? Things are a little more built to last and so forth. On the back, you got the song titles for each disc, barcode, and so forth. No year on this thing. We got manufactured and distributed by EMI Music Group Australia, or actually Australasia. So I hadn't noticed that earlier. I guess this dates this one, the 1988 version. All right, so there you go. Just learned something myself. Up on top, all right, just like it is on the side, that was the spine, and same as the top. Nothing on the bottom. That's the only one you got with nothing on it. But really killer. I mean, that just looks awesome up on your shelf. Does it not? What was I debating that purchase for? I have no idea. Temporary insanity. That's what I plead. Because this thing's just cool as hell, right? And not only that, $25 for that, and it also included a copy of California Jam, all right, which I kind of forgot. I have to admit that it was even a legit release of this. There's nothing inside the box other than the CDs, no booklet or anything. So what you see is what you get, but man, it is a pretty damn cool little package. So unless you go without saying, but I love that they're in jewel cases, much better protected, dragging them around, dragging them into the car and so forth. So as opposed to the little mini LP replicas and the cardboard sleeves we got in the complete studio albums. Now the studio albums versions are the United States versions, a couple of little differences we'll talk about. So we're getting the UK versions with this collection. So now prior to owning this guy, the only two Deep Purple 70s albums I had on CD were In Rock and Fireball, which are the two most interesting CDs here because of the differences between the US and these UK versions. All right, so In Rock, that was one of the first CDs I ever owned. It was probably in 1988, okay? And I remember through the years leading up to that, reading multiple metal dudes citing In Rock as a major influence on them. I want to say it was Lars, maybe even Dave Mustaine, metal guys who were just in love with In Rock, you know? Also had some friends who really loved Purple who thought In Rock was all that too. But I had really high expectations for In Rock. Honestly, when I got In Rock on CD, I was pretty disappointed overall. I have to tell you, man, I thought it was pretty heavy, I guess, for its time, right? Speed King, Child in Time, they didn't disappoint. Kicked ass, actually. But I really didn't love any of the other songs on there, I have to tell you. Good songs, but I didn't think they were great. I didn't know where all the build-up came from, I guess, with multiple guys citing it as one of their favorite albums ever. I guess they were saying most influential, but you get what I'm saying. What didn't help, this is one of the first CDs I ever got where I noticed that the sound wasn't that good. Now, I had nothing to compare it to, but I specifically remember, you know, that someone asked me how it sounded, you know, when I told them I got it on CD. And I kind of said, it's okay. It's not like awesome, you know, because I think up till then, the other 6 or 8, 10 CDs I had, the sound always pretty much impressed. And this one was the first one where it just didn't. It was like harsh and metallic sounding, I guess. Sort of hissy, you know, echoey, I don't know. It just didn't sound great. So fast forward to this complete albums that I got about a decade ago, okay? The first thing I did when I got it was pull this version of In Rock out, play it on my stereo, okay? Listen to a song or two. Then threw my In Rock from Warner Brothers on. It was night and day, all right? I turned around and sold that In Rock right away, which I wish I would have kept just for sentimental reasons, you know? But it wasn't even close. So there you go. Now, Fireball. I had Fireball also, but not until a little later, late 90s or something. And actually, I think the version of Fireball I had might have been a Japan version, because on Discogs, the only version I could find, this cover, which shows up as a Japan release. I also remember it being in a white jewel case instead of being black on the side there. So I have a feeling I had a Japan version of Fireball and didn't realize it. That one sounded good, all right, but still this studio albums version sounded better than that. So I went and sold that one too. When in print, you know, you can get this thing for, what's it, 10 CDs for 40 bucks. Vast improvement over those original CDs, you know, at least the one in rock that I had, for sure. So how does the sound on this collection stack up against the complete albums 70 to 76? I would say the sound's very similar, all right? A little quieter on these UK versions, a bit bassier perhaps too. Probably the least compressed, I'm going to guess, and most vinyl-like it's suggested on that Steve Hoffman forum. Of the 3 in-rocks that I've heard and the 3 fireballs I've heard, one gauge I use is like the volume level itself. So I listen to things in my car on 40, all right, 1 to 100 volume. And I had to listen to these on 50. That's how quiet they are, which can be a damn good thing, man. It's just clear, even when you crank it louder. It's just always just clean and clear, really. Like the between songs and quiet parts of the songs, you like can't even tell a CD's even playing, man. So that's the difference between a quality recording, in my opinion. So let's just focus on 2 of these CDs real quick, In Rock and Fireball, since they were the 2 I had as standalones prior to owning the studio complete albums collection or this. Here's the In Rock UK Harvest. EMI is actually what's on the back, EMI Records. As mentioned, this catalog number is not in the Discogs database. Someone suggested on the Steve Hoffman forum that this might be a unique mix. However, it's probably just the original UK EMI mix, all right? Or EMI Harvest, you might call it. So none of the many early versions on Discogs have an actual CD of the ones that have pictures, and most of them do, that has this kind of font on it. So this is apparently part of what makes this unique. It just looks a little different as far as the typeface on the disc itself. And also these also have a little Digital Audio Technologies Australia, this little whoosh here in the side. All 7 CDs have that little emblem on it. So perhaps that explains the special catalog numbers for these CDs. So onto the music a bit here. Now In Rock's the one that really kind of blew me away a little bit. I had no clue there was a full version of Speed King. Some consider it the version of Speed King with the intro, all right? But it's actually just the full album version of the original UK version of the album. Now it adds a minute and a half, all right, to this song. So it goes from 4.5 minutes to 6 minutes. It starts out with this full-on sort of rocking, bashing, which dissolves into a quiet sort of organ-only piece. And Lord's kind of playing the rhythm of the song by himself on the organ, before it builds back into the standard United States version intro. And from there, it's the same song as was on the original US version on Warner Brothers of In Rock. So an immediate plus, all right, in terms of this purchase right there. I have to tell you, I never even knew there was a full long version of this song. So right off the bat, man, this is kind of like worth the 25 bucks just to get another 90 seconds of Deep Purple from back in the day into my collection. All right, but the optimal sound also makes it, you know, it's just cool. It's the best version out there. I'd have to agree. Of the 3 I've heard, it seems like the best. So a welcome addition. I would still say Child in Time, Speed King, and then Into the Fire would be like probably my 3rd favorite on this album. Now, Black Knight, I guess, was a single around this time, would be a bonus track, or appear on compilations and things. That's not on here. That would have been great, but it's cool. I just kind of like that these are just the original UK versions, period. It's fine. You know, every once in a while, it's okay to buy a CD without bonus tracks on it. All right? No other great surprises like that on the rest of In Rock, but that great sound, that little extra minute and a half, there you go. I think this is the coolest In Rock out there to be had. Fireball, another album that I thought was good, not amazing in my opinion. Really, again, just like In Rock, I had higher expectations of Fireball. Now again, with the version on here, more sort of quiet vinyl-like qualities to the sonic qualities to this thing. Nice, full, rich sound. It's a bit unsteady though. A few songs are bassier than most, but not a knock on this edition specifically, okay? Because it might have just been how the original UK album was, for all I know, and just a reflection of it. So, no longer versions like Speed King on In Rock or anything. But having the original UK track listing is kind of cool, and what I mean by that is we get third song in, Demon's Eye, and not Strange Kind of Woman like it was on the original United States version of the album. So that's kind of cool because I always loved Demon's Eye. I had downloaded a bunch of just separate songs years and years ago, going through all their albums and picking a few songs, and Demon's Eye was one that I pulled out of the hat, not realizing once I got Fireball that it originally was on Fireball. So now I love Strange Kind of Woman, really. I think that both of those songs are great. So, but I do have that on that complete albums collection anyway. So Demon's Eye just sounds killer on here, man. That synthy rhythm, as simple as it is, it's just awesome. So for me, as far as Fireball goes, it's Demon's Eye, No, 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 and No One Came. They're my three favorites off of that one. So another disc that has a unique catalog number, and the photos of it with the disc font being, again, unique to this set. So pretty sure that's where your unique catalog numbers come from, just the look of the CD itself, best I can tell. So that's the story with In Rock and Fireball. The only other album I've heard out of this collection so far is Come Taste the Band. Similar sound, quiet, maybe a little bassy, but very similar to what you got in the studio albums, complete albums rather, and sounds great. Again, a little quieter. Looking forward to hearing the rest of these old school Deep Purple UK CDs. So, also came with the Live at the California Jam. This is a single CD put out on Mausoleum Classics BMG. Year on this one, 1996. Looks like the whole show, except for Lay Down, Stay Down's not on there. So I'll have to give this a listen, check it out. So all in all, nicely spent $25. Deep Purple, the collection. An older episode that I did was how to build your CD collection fast and cheap. I gave you several ways to do it, but one of the commenters said, you know, look on Facebook Marketplace. I hadn't done that up until that episode. And single CD is not usually worth the trouble, but box sets are. I look for box sets on there, and here's a couple that I snagged locally too, you know, 15-minute drive. This one was a 2-minute drive near my house. So Rod Stewart's Storyteller box. This was $5. Worth the trouble on there for sure. I mean, you know, how do you say no to that? $5 freaking. And this one was 15. Yeah, $15. The Grateful Dead, The Golden Road, 65 to 73. I think there's 10 CDs in here. 8 officially released, and then 2 CDs with live stuff that was unique to this box. Awesome. I mean, it was $25. This is another one that I passed up. $25, and to my amazement, it was still available like a month later. Book's in decent shape, actually pretty good shape. A little bit of a fold on the cover, but the rest of the book's great. Really cool booklet. The CDs are amazing. All right, I mean the condition of them are awesome, and nice job here. This looks like a Rhino product, I believe. I'll just pull out one. Show you what's up with that. I've had this thing for a long time now and only listened to a couple of the discs. Not the biggest Deadhead, but I like them. All right, that's what your disc looks like. Your booklet is like right attached inside the CD itself, sort of deal. Okay, cool. And digipacks, but you know what? You get what you get. These are sort of nice versions, though. I mean, this is just how box sets should be. Nice. I mean, I wouldn't have minded these in jewel cases too, but if you're going to put them in digipacks, that's how you do it. The book's really cool too. Nice amount of pictures, and I haven't read this yet or anything. This will be a nice thing to check out one day, hanging out, drinking some Slack Tide. Oh, by the way, I didn't show you, I got some coasters made up. Not great ones, not ceramics or anything, but that's where this guy's sitting when it's not in my hand. And I'll throw some of them in some of the stuff I give away. Which, by the way, I need to get to a video episode. I haven't been watching a ton of videos lately, but I do need to get to one anyway, just for some new release news. I actually do have a 3-pack to unbox of video stuff from Japan. It's been sitting around for like a month. And give me the perfect excuse to give away those 4 concert DVDs. And on top of that, if that's not enough information, I'm going to create a VIP list. Everyone who's on board now, who I deem worthy, that's who will be VIP. Because some of these giveaways are going to be for the VIP section only. Guys that have been here from the beginning, and even if you've only jumped on recently, you're active in the channel. I know who you are, believe it or not. I don't do that much of this that I don't realize the obvious. Guys, that's going to do it, man. Hope you dug digging into Deep Purple, the collection. So now you know, all right? If you ever come across this thing, snap it up. Best sounding versions of the Purple albums I heard. Not eons beyond this one, but a couple of little differences, and you know what? Just an awesomely cool package, all right? And of course, jewel cases. So everyone have a great day. I'll catch you next time. I think we're going to unload. I'll show you what I got the last few weeks. An awesome dozen items. Metal, funk, vinyl, box, a brand new sealed box set. Awesomeness. Check it out. See you soon. Everyone have a good day.